Good afternoon, my classy people. Wayne Bolden here at the SpeedKing channel for sure. It is Sunday, the 20th of April. It is Resurrection Day for all my brothers and sisters that, celebrate Christianity for sure. So we want to wish you a happy and always prosperous Resurrection Day, right? He risen. For sure. So, hats off to each and every one of you that celebrated. And of course, please turn your closed captions on. Remember, we're about 2 weeks out, about 13 days from the Kentucky Derby, which means we have Kentucky Oaks sheets available for that Friday, the Kentucky Oaks Friday, 13 races, they're $20. And of course, Kentucky Derby Day, 14 races, they're $20. If you buy both, we'll give them to you for $35. Please email us at speedking24@yahoo.com and or text the office at 732-804-0637. We have 5 or 6 different payment methods, but please get your orders in, and a shout out to all those people that's gotten their orders in and their payments. Well, we've been profiling various horses, taking a deep dive into each and every one that we end up profiling individually from the Kentucky Derby and the Oaks. And today we're here to look at an Oaks runner, right? Take Charge MiLady, the Kenny McPeek runner. Now, we know that Good Cheer is the flat-out horse you have to beat in there, and it's going to take a very, very big effort to beat her. But there are a couple very, very interesting fillies in this race at very, very nice odds, and none bigger, in my opinion, to Take Charge MiLady. If there was one horse that I had to pick or play in this race that you say could really, really upset Good Cheer, it would be this filly, Take Charge MiLady. I've done some work, done some video work on her. Let's take a peek at the Kenny McPeek runner. Well, Take Charge MiLady is by Take Charge Indy. Her grandmother is Take Charge Lady. Okay, so that's where that name comes from. And of course, Take Charge Lady won the Kentucky Oaks for Kenny McPeek, which was his first of 3 that he won. So this horse, Take Charge MiLady, has a long bloodline of success in her pedigree. And she's on the back end by Scat Daddy. And she's, of course, ridden by Kenny McPeek's boy, Brian Hernandez Jr. And just a side note, Sherry McPeek owns part of Take Charge MiLady. So there may be a little bigger effort to get her around the racetrack. Okay? So side note that I found out. Sherry McPeek owns part of that horse, and that's Kenny McPeek's wife. Well, from that, Take Charge MiLady has 2 wins from 6 starts and 2 seconds for a cool $400,000. And she ended up breaking her maiden over at Oaklawn back there on January 5th. She ran into Martha Washington, where she beat, by the way, Quiet Side. I'm sure it came out of that race. And, just an awesome race. Out of the Martha Washington, she went into the Honeybee, where she got beat up a little bit by Quiet Side and that Mohima horse because she missed the break, or she was pinched at the start. I believe she was the number 6 horse in the Honeybee, and she had some traffic problems into the first turn. So she ended up running 10th that day. I'm sure Brian wrapped up on her once he realized he lost all chances at the start, running dead last. So we just put a line through the Honeybee Stakes. She was the second choice behind Mohima in that race. That was on February 23. So they gave her about 6 weeks off, and she showed up in the Ashland. Now, again, she ran a beautiful, beautiful race up in the Ashland on April 7th. The winner of that race, of course, was LaCara, who is in the Kentucky Oaks. And everybody knows how I feel about LaCara because she's bred and owned by one of my favorite breeders and owners, Tracy Farmer, and trained by Mark Cassey. Well, hey, Take Charge MiLady ran second that day. Now, if you go back and you watch that race, she was kind of next to last or whatever, and there was a little battle up front. Lucara was on the front end. She's got a nice easy lead. She saved all the ground that day. But Brian Hernandez had to wait and wait because he was following the number 4 horse, the Big Gray, Mahima, the horse that I don't like. That's about, I don't like that horse, not as a personal thing, but I don't. She's big and clunky, so he chose to follow her down the backstretch, and it appeared to me that he had to wait for her on the rail to get out of the way. Which she didn't until they turned for home, and then you know how it opens up. So to me, when you look close at the Ashland and the ground that Take Charge MiLady was making up once she got through at the top of the lane and coming up the stretch, down the stretch, and of course she didn't have a chance to go wide, you know, where you run your best. And young horses don't like to come up the rail. Well, that being said, she came up the rail very, very nicely, and she finished up nicely. After the wire, she pulled up 3 or 4 lengths in front of Lucara. I believe down the backstretch, if Take Charge MiLady would have gotten through and didn't have to, or didn't follow Mahima on the rail, if somehow Mahima quickened, I think Take Charge MiLady really would have won the Ashland. Go back and watch. I think Take Charge MiLady was the number 6 horse, and you'll see Mahima, I believe, was the number 4 horse. You can't miss her because she's the Big Gray. But he's right behind her, and you could see him waiting because he had nowhere to go. And by that time, Lucara had gotten the jump on her, okay? So once they turned for home and she, Take Charge MiLady finally slipped through on the rail, Lucara already had a 4, 5, 6 length lead. But this horse was making up a ton of ground, and I know she learned a bunch from that race. So to me, in retrospect, even though I had Lucara at 9-1 that day, right? Thank God that Take Charge MiLady didn't get through. I think the real winner, or would have been the winner, would have been Take Charge MiLady. That was her 5th, 6th start of her career, the best the best speed figure that she's ever ran in her life, and she finally peeked through on the thoroughbraves from her previous top, which was 2 back in the Martha Washington. She ran a 6 on the thoroughbraves in the Martha Washington, and of course we had the bad race, which was a 23 in the Honeybee. That's an X. She ran a 5 1/4 in the Ashland, so she peaked by a 1/2 point through the 6 through the Martha Washington. So that signaled to me as an old sheet reader that this horse is sitting on a big explosive race. I expect her to move forward in this race, and I know that this horse is going to be 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. There's no way they're going to keep Take Charge MiLady, in my humble opinion, off the board. Okay, she is 10 or 12-1 on the morning line. That is a huge, huge race. They're going to bet Lucara, and I like Lucara, you know that. But I'm telling you now, if there's one horse outside of the horse that I favor there, of course, Good Cheers, the Godolphin runner, I'll be all over Take Charge MiLady. I just think that race out of the Ashland, she would have won that race. And you're going to get 10 or 12-1 on this horse, and no one trains a young horse or a filly better than Kenny McPeak. The mere fact that Sherry owns a piece of this one. So I think they have a great, great chance here to run a huge, huge race. I'm telling you now, she'll be on all my Oaks and Derby doubles, okay? Because that's my favorite bet, is the Oaks to the Kentucky Derby double, and the Oaks pick 3 to the Derby. So again, I know for sure that I will be using Good Cheer, obviously the Godolphin deal for sure, right? Because if she explodes the way I think, it's going to be for 2nd. But Take Charge MiLady is sitting on a big race, in my opinion. So I wanted to profile her, dive down, go back and look at the Ashland, watch her down the back stretch. following that Bob Baffert Mahima horse, the big clunky gray horse, right? You can't miss her. And if she had a chance to quicken before that horse got out of the way, I don't think Lucara would have won that race. I'm glad she did, because I got 9-1, and I had pretty nice exactas and win money on Lucara that day because it's Tracy Farmer. But go take a look, and again, that's a short stretch over at Keeneland. So she's going to have more ground coming down the lane, okay? I'm just head over heels about this one. I think she's sitting on a go-go race, and she's ready to burst into flames, right, at a big price at 10 or 12-1. So let me know what you think. There is our spotlight. There is our profile on one of the Oaks runners. That's right, Take Charge, MiLady. I think she's the biggest threat to Good Cheer. And I know Good Cheer is going to be ready to roll. That's Godolphin, of course. I like this horse a whole bunch, and I don't want to get, I'm supposed to be just doing the profile, but I can't curb my enthusiasm. Take Charge, MiLady is sitting on a big race. I know it. I just know this horse is sitting on a big race. So anyway, stay classy, y'all. Tell me what you think. Let's have a healthy discussion, as we always do. And thanks so much for all the great comments and healthy and classy discussions and respecting each other's opinion and having some fun as we move towards our Super Bowl weekend, the national holiday called the Kentucky Derby weekend, for sure. Take Charge, MiLady by Take Charge Lady. This is a nice horse. Great price. She'll be on all my tickets. Stay classy, y'all, in all that you do. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm the Speed King. Make sure you get your orders in for your tip sheet. SpeedKing 24 at yahoo.com. SpeedKing 24. Take charge, my lady. She might just do that. How nice would it be to start off with a 10 or 12-1 being alive into the Kentucky Derby with Derby doubles? I would love that. Because good cheer is going to be very short. So yeah, I'm looking around the landscape for some value, even though my heart, is with Good Cheer. But this game's about value.